Thank you. So this evening, the first order of business is the naming of President Jimmy Carter as a Pro Bono Humanum Award winner, and I want to congratulate him. But I want to say a few words about President Carter. Jimmy Carter was born in 1924 in Plains, Georgia. He attended the public high school, and then he went to Georgia Tech, where he was really waiting to gain entry into the Naval Academy. And soon he was called to the U.S. Naval Academy, which he joined, and he went through the academy. During the time he was doing his work, he met and married Rosalind, his wife, of how many years, Jason? Of 71 years. I'm going to be tutored here by Jason Carter, who is the grandson of President Carter. And so, but just a few words. Yeah, he left the academy and was in the Navy, of course, where he spent several years, including going into the submarine part, which he was very proud of. He left the Navy when his dad died, and he returned to the family to take over the peanut business in Plains, Georgia. And so he returned, and he worked for a while, but soon was very active politically. He was elected to the Georgia Senate, and then he became governor. And of course, you know, in 1977, he was elected President of the United States. So between 1977 and 1981, he was president, and then he lost to the re-election to President Reagan, Ronald Reagan, and so he returned to Plains and undertook several different things, but one major activity he undertook as he went back to the peanut business, and that is he raised money to build the Carter Center. And that was the focus of his activities. He pulled together a staff and started to work on the things that he loved to do, and that was democracy, human rights, and then he set up an organization to look after the health of people in the developing world. And he focused on parasitic diseases. And his work then extended human rights plus the study of numerous diseases. But the first one was guinea worm disease. And this is an infestation of individuals who are exposed to drinking water that has a crustacean in it with a larva of the guinea worm. The guinea worm gets into the body and goes through the gastrointestinal tract, eventually becomes a long worm and crawls out through the skin. And so this is a very painful thing, and Jimmy Carter undertook to eradicate this, and the way it's eradicated is to filter the water. And the filters were contributed by a company, and the Carter Center distributed them and convinced people to filter their water. The guinea worm disease of the world, affecting 3.5 million people, has almost 100% been eradicated. It's his second target, the second major target was river blindness, which of course is caused by a different kind of parasite, which is transmitted by the bite of a black fly. And this is largely in sub-Saharan Africa, but it's in Latin America and Asia as well. And he targeted that disease as well. And again, he partnered with a company, in this case, Merck, that provided the drug. But the Carter Center raised money and also took money from the World Bank at one point, from the Gates Foundation. Many people participated. The drug was free from Merck. The distribution was helped enormously and organized by the Carter Center. And so that was a wonderful deal. Now, where is that? A few years after that program of distribution of the drug for river blindness, they found that the drug also works for lymphatic filariasis, which is caused by a different parasite, but it's sensitive to the same drug that kills the parasite for river blindness. And so the population that has river blindness, onchocerciasis parasite, and the lymphatic filariasis is over 1 billion people. 1 billion people. And so in the year 2015, to eliminate both river blindness, losing vision, and elephantiasis, which is what you end up with from lymphatic filariasis, Merck contributed drug to treat 250 million people in 1 year. Which is, and this is all being organized through the Carter Center. Now, he's also worked on trachoma. He's worked on so that's 4, schistosomiasis, malaria. So the Carter Center is focused on eradication of disease, and of course, it's doing its work in human rights. And we saw some of this when Diana and I were in Chad, the center of Africa. We saw President Carter lecturing in the middle of Africa to a village where he was telling them about human rights on the one hand, on the other hand, cajoling them to be sure they take their drugs, and which is a wonderful sight, and he was really good at it. And so for all this work, he was of course, along the way, I didn't mention, in 2002 he received the Nobel Prize that was focused on human rights and democracy and helping countries become democratic. And so our award, the Bono Humanum Award, comes on top of the Nobel Prize. We think it's a great thing, and we have great pride in presenting the award this year to President Carter. And we have his grandson, Jason Carter, here, who will receive the award. President Carter had a previous commitment, was not able to be here. We will hear some words from his grandson, but first we're going to see a video done by the President. Can we roll the video? Video, please.